Hello everybody, I'm Dr. Virtual. Welcome back to my channel. And thank you very much for tuning in, right? Or do you tune a fish? Or do you tune a piano? Well, I don't know. So, I'm going to be talking about everyone's favourite person they just absolutely love to hate. Talking about the masses of people in here. Brie Larson. Is Brie Larson possibly joining the DCEU? Or the DC Universe, so to speak? And when is Captain Marvel 2 coming out? People are wondering. Well, let's have a look at this wonderful little article that I found on the thing called the Internet. Let's have a read together, shall we? And by the way, I love superheroes movies, you know, but I really like the characters when they stick to this source material.
That's a good one. Boy, that sure gets me.
Let's just get on with the video. Alright, and here's the article. Could Captain Marvel Brie Larson leave the MCU to join the DCEU? Question mark. Captain Marvel's Brie Larson has a bright future in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but a rival studio reportedly has big plans for the actress as well. Larson will be reprising her role as Carol Danvers in Captain Marvel 2, and is expected to have several cameos in future crossover films. Although the actress clearly has a big role to play in the MCU, sources claim that Marvel's top rival is trying to recruit her for a part in the next DC Extended Universe. Why do I talk like that? Just talk normal, for goodness sake. That's right, Miss Brie Larson, all eyes are on you now. It's like you've become some sort of public figurehead for comic book fans, both Marvel and DC alike. Now, they're both comic book companies to me, they all have their own ups and downs. But in any case, getting back to the topic of you, Miss Larson, well, it's not only DC have big plans for you, people are wondering when's the next Captain Marvel 2 movie coming out. Interesting. You're going up in the world. Now, going on what I've already been seeing about Brie Larson for the past year or so, or year plus, ever since Captain Marvel's release, and everybody bombarding that movie just saying how disgustingly terrible it is, and in my eyes, it's not the best MCU movie, it's not one of the greatest movies I've ever seen in general. It's watchable, it's okay for me, it wasn't really that intriguing, it was alright. I can already see the headlines this with YouTubers all over the bloody web and the internet, or Facebook and Twitter and things like that, mostly anyway from the masses, saying how much they're going to take the mickey in depending on which character Brie Larson, if this ever goes forward, if she ever does join the DCU, Brie Larson's going to get completely knocked probably on what character she's going to play next. If she was to play Batgirl or something, they'd be like, nope, they've ruined Batgirl, or something like that. Or things like that, you know. Just for example, if Brie Larson was to play Batgirl, I can imagine the amount of storm brewing heading her way from people, YouTubers themselves, bashing her already before the film comes out. I can just see it. People in the comments section typing away, saying how much they hate that. It's going to be a miscast and things. For example, you know, that kind of thing. To be honest, it's not even that impossible to pretty much predict, so to speak. Or actually guess, because of the fact Brie Larson is pretty much disliked and hated by a lot of people. Larson has a promising future with Marvel. There were plenty of doubts when fans learned that Larson was cast to play the part of Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel. I for one didn't have doubts, primarily because of the pure fact I'm just not affiliated with Captain Marvel that much. So this new sort of character to me was a question mark whether I'm going to like the character or not. In the first film of the hit franchise, those doubts of course were completely erased upon the movie's premiere. Captain Marvel proved to be a major success for the studio, making well over $1 billion at the box office. Larson reprised the role for Avengers Endgame, which made a record-breaking $2.8 billion in ticket sales. And there's a little bit there talking about Captain Marvel 2 won't premiere until after 2022. And it looks like DC is trying to cash in on Larson's celebrity. So, is DC trying to snag Larson for a part? Although Larson is firmly planted in the MCU, an inside source told We Got This Covered that DC wants her to play part of Lady BlackHawk. The insider claims that DC wants to introduce the character in the upcoming Black Adam film, which is scheduled to release in 2021. Once that happens, Lady BlackHawk would get a standalone film and would likely become a mainstay in the DCEU. Larson has not commented on the rumours, but she is also not the only actress DC is eyeing for the part. And just for the record, taking away from Captain Marvel for a second, DC, you better get that Black Adam film correct. He's one of my favourite characters in the whole of DC Comics. Well, DC, you can't say DC Comics, I say Detective Comics. Get it right, please, DC. It's one of my favourites. Thanks to the MMO game that I've been playing for the past 8 years, is it? DC Universe, I know of Lady BlackHawk. That's all I can say on that, really. That said, getting Larson to join the DCEU would be huge for the studio, though it is unlikely given her ties to Marvel. Even still, Larson's time in the MCU will eventually come to an end, so it is always possible that she joins DC at some point in the future. While the rumours will likely continue, Larson is hardly the first actor that is reportedly set to jump between Marvel and DC. And will this DC star be the next Wolverine? So it just talks about Henry Cavill possibly being the next Wolverine and him having his debut in Captain Marvel 2. So that's pretty much the article. There's a little bit more that talks about Captain Marvel 2 when is it coming out, but we've already covered that. So the talks about Brie Larson possibly joining DC. Unlikely, however unlikely it may seem, given her ties at Marvel. Like it said in there, her career is going to come to an end at Marvel when she's finished with Carol Danvers. She won't stay there indefinitely, I don't think. It depends. But in any case, am I for it or am I against it? Do I care? I don't. If she wants to go to DC, let her go to DC. You know, she's an actress. You can do whatever she wants, play whatever character she likes or whatever she's told to. As long as the movie's good and the characters are portrayed really well, that's all I care about. I don't care who they're played by, as long as it's played by a good, decent actor or an actress that can give life to a character. I can't be bothered with boring, plank-like characters that don't offer anything. They're just there with no juice. Give me the juice, you know. Like Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker. Bloomin' loved his portrayal as Arthur Fleck and his transition into the Joker, the Clown Prince of Crime. Brilliant. But I don't think any of these MCU or DCEU movies will probably top that awesome piece. Don't know, you never know though. But am I for it or am I against it? I said I don't care. I'm not bothered either way. So, where do you stand? Do you look forward to seeing, if this was to happen, her playing Lady BlackHawk? Even though I suggested, well, I wasn't suggesting, I was just guessing Batgirl, but that wasn't exactly a guess either. That was just me contemplating what could happen if she was portraying Batgirl. The media backlash probably would have been big. Probably not, many people are probably not familiar with Lady BlackHawk. I'm not familiar with them myself, but I know of them from the DC Universe game and from Justice League Unlimited. Was it Unlimited or was it just Justice League? The animation TV series, which was great, by the way. I greatly recommend you watching it. So, this has been news on Brie Larson. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section. Like, rate, comment, share this video, please. May you take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you in my next video.